Welcome to Melanin Convos, a sisterhood of mom friends having relatable and unorthodox conversations while holding space for each other and amplifying Black voices.
Hi, my name's Nikita, and this is Melanin Convos, and this is our very first season. I'm so excited about it, and I'm calling this the rehearsal. It's like warm-up episodes, and because I have a dance background, it's just fitting to have the rehearsal. And I just wanted to share with you guys what Melanin Convos is, why it's been really weighing heavily on my heart to even start a podcast, and why this isn't just another mom podcast. So Melanin Convos is really just a space for us as Black women and people to amplify our voices and to tell our stories. I feel like if you've heard me tell this story, you probably know it already, but I felt like when I was pregnant with my son, that's when everybody was telling me all of these stories about pregnancy, all of these stories about parenting. And I was like, wow, how useful would it have been for me and other women my age to have known these stories when we were married, something to prepare for as opposed to when we're 5 months pregnant, right? And I just think that is something that we can leverage in our communities. We can leverage within our sister circles, within our mother-daughter relationships, just being able to lean in and glean from those stories and those experiences. So that really is my heart for this podcast, that we'll be able to share our stories and learn something and not feel alone in our experience. I can speak for myself, being a mom, especially during COVID, very much so feeling alone in my experience and wondering if I was the only one who felt rage or felt like I'm not cut out for this mom thing, or just feeling upset and just sad, and also feeling this overwhelming joy and need to protect this human being. Am I the only one experiencing those things? Some of the things that you can expect from Melanin Convos: expect information. I'm a lover of research and collecting data and reading the data and all that wonderful stuff. So expect to learn something new about motherhood, about relationships, about our emotions, mental health, and all of those things. Expect that when you come here, you'll feel seen, that your experience although it may not be my experience, expect that someone can relate to you, that you can relate to someone from any of the guests on this show, or even just the things that I share from the people that have shared their thoughts from Instagram or TikTok or wherever, that you will feel seen when we have these conversations here. I think it's also important for you to also feel like you can talk to me and talk to other people in this space, and feeling a sense of familiarity, feeling a sense of sisterhood is something that I'm really striving to bring to this space. And I think it's important that as we journey through life, whether that is motherhood or just being a woman or just being a friend, an aunt, a mother, a grandparent, wherever it is that you find yourself in life, that you feel like you are not alone and that you are traveling through life with somebody, and that you have a space, or that you're able to reach out to myself or anybody on this platform and share that experience or share what you are feeling. Okay, some of my goals for this platform and what I'm hoping that you'll be able to see as we launch and as we go through season 1 and 2 and 3 is that you will obviously see a progression of setup and you will also experience me have live podcasts, have other events where we can gather together and just experience each other in a different way. I will say that during this warm-up season that my podcast will be on TELUS Optic. So that is another experience that we will have, and I'm excited about it. Season 2 will be on TELUS Optic. So if you are a TELUS customer, you definitely will be able to watch and interact with the content on that channel and that subscription. So that's something that I'm hoping that we can continue to do here. I'm also hoping that we can launch out and, like I said, do events, have a book club, just do other things where we are able to gather and be together and support each other in ways that supports community. I think something that has been lost for us as Black individuals and Black women is a sense of community, a sense of doing life with somebody, a sense of feeling like I'm not alone and that this person or that person is on this journey with me. I think a lot of our experiences as millennials or Gen Zs or Gen X, wherever you fall, is feeling alone. And I think the research does support that, where we feel like we are alone, that we're doing things alone, even prior to COVID, just how we would prefer to stay home than to go out. And I think that does contribute to our feelings of loneliness. So wanting to create a space where we are clocking those hours with people so that they move from an acquaintance to a friend and maybe even a sister, or where we are introducing them as family. So that's my hope for this podcast. I'm hoping that we can journey together and that as I grow as an individual, that you as well will grow and flourish into whoever or whatever space you want to move into next. I know that if you're a mom, you probably listen to a lot of motherhood podcasts and things along those lines, but I am going to assure you that this is not just another motherhood podcast. And why I'm saying that is, although I am a mom and a lot of things that we'll be talking about do relate to motherhood and being a parent, but it is also important to me that we talk about other things that just comprise our whole experience as a woman and as a person, which is why the part of amplifying voices is so important to me. I think it is important that we do share that experience and do talk about motherhood, but that we also do talk about what it is to be a dad, what it is to be a single male, what it is to experience postpartum, but also what it is to talk about like our sexual desires and feelings, our friendships, our parenting styles, like all the things that comprise us as a human being. I think that is important. I think that's what makes Melanin Convos a little bit different than your other motherhood podcast. Additionally, I would say my hesitation to even starting a podcast, to sharing my thoughts and my feelings would be because I know that this lives in in the universe, online for a long time. And I'm not gonna lie to you, like, I'm afraid of people like holding me to my thoughts and my feelings and just not allowing me to evolve and grow. And I think that has been one of my biggest drawbacks to starting a podcast, and my biggest fears. But I'm hoping that as I give myself grace to learn and to grow and to evolve, that you would also give yourself that same grace to grow and to evolve, and acknowledging that the things that I believed a year ago, 6 years ago, 5 months ago, may not be what I believe in my current state of being. And that's okay. We are evolving, we are changing, we are constantly experiencing life, and all of our experiences help us to have a worldview of some sort, and that will change over time. So although I am excited, I'm a little bit nervous, and I'm hoping that we can give each other grace throughout this process. One thing that I am hoping to challenge you with and to leave you with this week is to think about the spaces that you occupy, whether that's churches, whether that's a book club, whether that's where you work, just any space that you occupy. Think about that for a moment. And then I want you to think about, in those spaces, how can your unique experience elevate or add to the lives of the people that you share that space with? Because we never know how we can have impact unless we choose to share our thoughts and our experiences. So I'm going to leave that with you this week, and we'll talk soon.